This is a Dr. Bill Corder, physician, consultant, and author, with one question to pose. Hidden toxin, is it excessive exercise? Now I'm mentioning that because I'm guessing that there are many individuals listening to these presentations who are saying, I don't really want to go on another diet to lose weight. You've convinced me. But they're also saying, no, I don't want to do detoxification. You know what I'll do? I'm going to exercise. I'm going to exercise strenuously. I'm going to burn off those calories. I'm going to sweat out those toxins. I'm going to get to good health through exercise. Well, let me give you some bad news. Excessive exercise has a downside. And it has a downside in terms of the quality of our health. I think all of us have heard the story of the Athenian hero. This is that individual in the historic Greek war who ran 26 miles from the battlefield to his small village to announce, we've won, only then to collapse and die. And so through history, physicians have always been concerned about excessive exercise. And we've seen it spring up more and more in our country. Look in your neighborhood of the number of gyms that have come up and the number of people that are pouring into those gyms, not just for 20, 30 minutes, but sometimes for 3, 4 hours. Look at the number of marathons, half marathons that have exploded across our country. More and more people actually are turning to excessive exercise. So I think we were born to run and we were born to exercise, but we were not born to excessively do it. And they've done some very good studies. The good studies have shown that excessive exercise, when you sort of burn your candle to its lowest amount and are barely surviving, it causes some significant health issues. The blood vessels in your heart are more calcified. The large blood vessels in your body are stiffer. We're not giving the body enough chance to repair. There's just too much damage done at one time. And so the recommendation is to be aware that excessive exercise can cause those problems. And we all have seen those problems. We've seen the newspaper article with the Olympic marathon hero having a heart attack at age 38 or a heart attack at 42 or other cardiac issues. We've seen individuals who appeared to be in great physical health only to have serious physical challenges. And it's because of the over-exercising. So what's the solution? Well, 50 years ago, Dr. Kenneth Cooper worked with our NASA athletes. Back then, there was significant concern of how their physical health would last in their space travel. And so Dr. Kenneth Cooper's responsibility was aerobic exercise, getting them into good physical health. And at the very end point of all of his studies and all of his work, he came to one fundamental conclusion. 10,000 steps a day is probably what you need to hit for maximum physical activity and maximum physical health, for really good physical health. All of us these days, not all of us, but many of us, have cell phones that have applications to count your steps. I'd recommend you put in that application and count every day. I think some of you are going to be shocked. You're going to have less than 1,000 steps a day. You walk to the car, you walk to your office, you walk back to the car, you walk in the door, you sit down on the sofa, that's it for the day. We need to get back to daily exercise, but we need to get back to daily exercise in moderation. Now, for those of you who are young and vigorous and out there jogging or running, there are also some very good studies. And what they've shown that if you jog less than 7 miles an hour, if you're jogging at 6 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour, which is you're getting to the time and the speed of those best marathon runners, that's when you run into difficulties. So you want to jog at a pace that is greater than 7 miles an hour. And they've done studies in terms of the frequency. You don't want to exercise more than 4 hours a week if you're doing that level of jogging. So again, it's back to moderation. If you're going to be a jogger, great, go for it. But do it at a moderated speed and for a moderated length of time. So I'm a supporter of the exercise, but a strong supporter of moderating it and not causing yourself that calcification in your heart veins, not causing yourself the stiffness that's going to develop in your other large arteries. Now, lastly, I would like to point out, and this I think is important for all of us, that when you look at your overall health, 80% of it comes from your diet and your daily eating style. Only 20% of your health comes from your level of physical activity. So you need to lose the belief that just exercise will get you back into shape. I know several individuals, several patients who really exercise constantly, and yet they're not in the best of health. And that's because they're losing that 80% focus and not paying attention to what they eat. They're still getting the processed food. They're still getting the sugar. They're still drinking those Pepsi and Coke sodas loaded with sugar. They're not watching what they eat. So the recommendation in this video is to be aware that exercise does have a downside, and to be aware that the real solution does come from what you eat. So I'm back to an original point and an original habit to again try to convince you to look at detoxification, look at resetting your physiology, look at resetting your biochemistry, and look at reducing those chemicals in your bloodstream, the negative toxic chemicals, from the 75 to 200 range down to a more manageable range where you'll then have a better chance for health. So keep exercising, but in moderation. Thanks for listening. I hope this was educational. Hope it was of some value. And again, together, let's make each other healthier, live longer, and have a better life. Thank you.